What comes in your mind when you see this sun setting? So let me give access to my mind, and then you can give access to your mind. You don't have to share, you don't have to share with anyone because not necessary. Uh, if you are sharing openly, people will understand the way you understand your content. I repeat, not necessary. When you share openly, publicly, people understand your content the way you understand. So I'm not asking you to share in the comment. I'm asking you to share with yourself what comes in your mind when you see this sun setting. The first thing, knowledge. I remember in Himalayas when I was meeting lots of people from various countries. Unfortunately, I'm very careful using this word unfortunate. People consider Himalaya a place where people run, or place where people meet babas, or place where people go and get addicted to other things. They have lost this simple truth. I don't know why they have lost the awareness of this simple truth that Himalayas is the untouched piece of earth, untouched uh, mm, by humans. Now, the problem, I will tell you now, I will not stop this thread of conversation. The problem with humans is that they don't consider themselves as animals. Right? They don't consider themselves as animal. What do you mean by that? It means that even though, like many other animals, we come from vagina, even though if the animals are on four legs, still you can see the liver, kidney, teeth, nose, ears very close to human beings. Even though we know that, especially those who have pets, that you do not need language to communicate. It's all about your eyes to eyes, especially the emotions. And the most important thing in the life is, are you reading each other's emotions or not? Dogs, they read each other's emotions. Are you reading each other? Emotions are always in eyes. Your other things in your body, your hand gestures, your tone of voice. See, the tone of voice is all the gift of hyoid bone we have, which is the only bone in body which is not connected to any other bone. It's just suspended in muscles. Will not go there. But the point I'm making, if I cut down all the conversation going in my mind, why humans do not consider themselves as animals, knowing this fact that we behave like any other animal. Sometimes it's difficult to identify a stool of humans and other animals. It's plus minus same. The body is eating same, digesting same. Every animal is breathing. Every animal is eating. Every animal is urinating. It's a different story that all the animals living on the planet Earth, they are urinating on the earth. They're emptying their bladder on the earth, and we are doing in the sea. That's a different thing, right? When we are changing this, and we're changing this balance, that's a different thing. But irrespective of that, like any other animal, we empty our bladder, and then we think that we are not humans, or we are not animals. We are humans. We are not animals. When you say we are animal, let's understand what do you mean by animal. Let me show. Let me find one animal. What is the difference between animal and humans then? If you say that we are not animal, there's a difference between animal and human with the help of animal. Now let's see this. See, he's just watching me. Imagine a human sitting here. He will be thinking about me. That who is this boy, long hair, blah 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 blah, the rest of it. He's just watching, just watching, just watching, just watching. See, just watching. Nothing else. Watching. He watched, he saw, okay, safe, no problem, down. Down, busy in his life. Again watching, but again watching. Again watching. What do you mean by that? See. He's watching. See, his tail is, see, moment I moved, he started moving her tail, watching. So between humans and animals, if there is a difference, when we say that we are not animals, we are humans. Are we degrading ourselves by saying this? Why? Because, like any other animal, we should be busy in watching, not thinking. Why? Understand this now. Thinking is output of your memory, and memory is very limited. There are two types of memory we have. One is evolutionary memory. What do you mean by that? A one day fetus, how that fetus can learn how to suck milk. It's a difficult process. It's a difficult process, right? Evolutionary memory. Evolutionary memory. Evolution. It's not we have taken both in this life. It's like it's a process going on, and we are the output of that particular species. We are just spending time at this point of time. That's it. So, evolutionary memory plus the memory created in this life. Evolutionary memory is common. That's a common factor. We all have same. I always say that when we go to a mutton shop, we don't say this is a good brain of goat, this is a bad brain of goat. Brain is brain. Evolutionary memory is evolutionary memory. What makes you human is, are you watching or thinking? If you are watching, then you are at least saying this, I have first leveraged the number one gift which is given to us, to all the animals, including Homo sapiens, watching, right? Then you have to leverage something which we have got in just last 50,000 years, that is prefrontal cortex, this part of the brain, prefrontal cortex, which has a big bug. The bug is that the prefrontal cortex cannot differentiate whether the memory is coming from, the data is coming from the memory or data is coming from the outside. What do you mean by that? Moment I say Imli, you will have water in mouth. Why? Data is coming from memory. So, prefrontal cortex has this problem, and because of this bug, because we cannot differentiate between data coming from memory is just an assumption, data coming from outside is the truth. The car is standing in front of me, truth. Data coming from outside. There will be an accident of the truck, that's just a data coming from the memory. It's not happening in front of me, right? But moment you say there's an accident of truck, there's some kind of emotion. It means brain cannot differentiate whether the data coming from memory or from the real world. That's a bug. Why it's a bug? Why? That's 50,000 years old. Its evolution is millions of years old. As a human, if you really want to become human, you should know this bug. What is the implication or what is the problem of this bug? The problem of this bug is because you are not able to differentiate whether, example, you are sitting in front of someone, instead of accessing the truth, asking that person, tell me what happened, you are accessing the data which is from your memory, which is always limited. Always limited. And because your prefrontal cortex cannot differentiate from data coming from memory and from the truth, you get confused and you start considering that data as truth. It means you start considering your assumptions as truth. Nonsense life. Nonsense life. Doesn't make, nonsense is a nice word, doesn't make any sense to me. Why? Because life is not in your memory. If you are living a life in your memory, then you are living a second-hand life, because the life is in front of us. You have to watch it. It's gone. Sun. By the way, sun doesn't set. We are rotating. Sun is very constant. Sun doesn't set. Sunrise and sunset is fundamentally incorrect word. Sun doesn't set. Sun doesn't rise. We are rotating. We are rotating. Okay? We are adjusting to sun. Not sun is adjusting to us. Keep that aside. Stay animal. Don't try to be human. Animals, they keep watching. When you watch, there is a wisdom in every moment. If you think, you are living a second-hand life.